What if I told you that hidden behind rolling hills and poppy fields lies a city where Romans once bathed in sacred steam, where Jane Austen walked quiet streets, unknown and unsigned, and where today I walk too, through whispers of the past. And what I found there might just surprise you. Our journey to Bath begins with a soft countryside symphony, curious sheep, and a wild poppy field whispering red secrets. The English countryside never just sits still, it greets you. And there's Bath, elegant and historic. Even its coffee smells like it's been steeped in centuries. I sip and stare out, wondering, did Jane Austen sit here once, thinking of Mr. Darcy? Bath isn't just a city. It's a living time machine with floral baskets and million-pound price tags. Along these buttery brick streets, every window display feels like a Jane Austen plot waiting to happen. Every building here, a history book in disguise. The stone, that's Bath stone, warm, honey-colored, and used for nearly every elegant facade in the city. And then, there it was, Bath Abbey, rising like a medieval dream, built on the ruins of a much older cathedral. It's where England crowned its very first king in 973. Think of it as the original royal influencer post. And here's the Roman baths. No swimming, sadly, unless you've got 2,000 years and a time machine. Place where the water's hot, the history's ancient, and the gossip steamy. 2,000 years ago, this sacred spring was the spa of the elite, the aching, and the slightly superstitious. The Romans believed the waters were a gift from the gods, especially Sulis Minerva, the goddess of wisdom, healing, and possibly vengeance. How do we know? Because they left messages, scratched into lead tablets, and threw them into the spring like ancient tweets. One Roman begged the goddess to punish the thief. Actual curses were found like, "Whoever stole my gloves, may they not sleep until they return them." These baths were more than a place to relax. They were sacred, social, and slightly salty. Was time to return to the modern world. Well, relatively modern. I strolled across the iconic Pulteney Bridge, one of the very few in the world with shops along both sides, ideal if you need to cross a river and buy a scented candle at the same time. The streets of Bath opened like pages in a novel, Georgian facades, and windows displaying dream homes with million-pound price tags. A glimpse of the theater, a whisper of orchestras passed, a breeze that smelled faintly of scones and 18th century drama. And then, at last, I arrived at the Jane Austen Center, home of bonnets, busts, and the quiet brilliance of a woman who wrote timeless novels while drinking tea and dodging awkward suitors. Let's start with its most famous resident. Jane Austen first visited in 1797, when Bath was the glittering crown jewel of English resort towns, the place to see and be seen, preferably while promenading in bonnets. 2 of her novels are fully set here, and the city's charm pops up in every single one of her works. Clearly, Bath had a grip on Jane. But here's the juicy part. Jane Austen never saw her name in print. It wasn't until after her death in 1817 that her brother Henry revealed her identity in a biographical note. Can you imagine? Creating literary masterpieces in total anonymity.
To the Jane Austen Centre, where we celebrate Miss Austen's time in the city of Bath, both as a visitor and as a resident. My name is Catherine Morland from the book Northanger Abbey, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance today.
And no, she never had children, but she did brew her own beer and orange wine. A literary genius and a beverage artisan.
The Great Pump Room, not only the place where the healing waters were drunk, but also where all high society visiting Bath for the social season would register their arrival in the Pump Room book. It featured in Jane's Gothic satire, Northanger Abbey. There was dancing, gambling, gossip, concerts, recitals, and no end of fashionable people to call upon.
Oh, who began to be tired, but...
Oh, and she was once engaged, for just 12 hours, accepted the offer, didn't sleep a wink, and politely declined the next morning. Her mom, by the way, dabbled in poetry too. It ran in the family.
Oh, Mr. Darcy.
Some come to Bath for history, another came for pudding. When in Jane Austen's footsteps, one simply must dine like a Regency heroine, minus the corset. Now back to Bath. Did you know the entire city was bought in 1101 by Bishop John of Tours for the medieval equivalent of 60 quid? Bargain! Or that the world's very first postage stamp, the penny black, was sent from Bath in 1840? And yes, the planet Uranus was discovered here too, by William Herschel, while stargazing in his back garden. Honestly, Bath is like a polite British biscuit. Looks delicate, but full of surprises. I popped in for one book. 3 floors later, I'm emotionally attached to a 19th century atlas and a poetry collection I can't pronounce. And here we are, our final stop in the city of Bath, the famed thermal spa. It's a glorious summer's day, and what could be better than a rooftop pool with sweeping views over golden stone rooftops? Except the water is boiling. The shower? Hot. The pools? Hotter. The air? Positively Roman. I felt like a well-seasoned vegetable in a wellness stew. Note to future self. This place is made for winter. Now, I must confess, what you're about to see didn't exactly happen next, but it felt like the perfect way to wrap our story. Let's rewind a touch to an earlier adventure just outside Bath. The Royal Bath and West Show, where horses win ribbons, waistcoats are serious business, and I questioned whether I'd missed a countryside dress code memo.
Where the green lorry is and the horse box lorry, away the opposite end from the Wessex end. Just there on the right-hand side. So thank you again. The last time they were displayed here at Royal Bath and West. Thank you all so much for again coming here to display at Royal Bath and West. And let us
Here come the me. On the commentary side, oh my goodness, I think that is such a...
And with that, my lovely friends, our journey draws to a close. Thank you ever so much for being with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this little escape brought you a bit of joy. Until next time.